on the corner of 25 West Main Street in downtown Vermilion. The spot, Winnie Mae's, is proud to support programming on Coyote News. The spot, Winnie Mae's, providing salon and spa services for men, women, and children.
Tonight, illness has already hit USD and it's not slowing down.
And the university is joining a nationwide effort to show support for those who've lost their lives to suicide. You're watching Coyote News.
Live from the Al Newharth Media Center, this is Coyote News.
And we're on air with you tonight at 5 o'clock. Good evening. I'm Michael Stake.
And I'm Jody and Tyson. We're 4 weeks into the fall semester, and students are already seeing sickness spread across campus.
Coyote News' Emily Van Cleve spoke with someone who's already been affected.
Sniffles and coughs are heard around campus a little earlier this year. Someone is either sick or knows others who are.
My roommate has been really sick lately, and I think she's starting to get me sick. And a lot of the people in my classes have been gone lately because I think everyone's just starting to get like either allergies or the flu or something. It's affecting my learning a little bit just because when my professor is trying to call on people to answer and they're not there, that means somebody else who is not as prepared has to go.
Student health services are located at the Sanford Clinic and provide students with a free doctor's visit. Appointments can be made through a phone call or the app My Sanford Chart.
I went there a couple times last year when I was sick.
Along with common colds and seasonal allergies, there has also been a discussion of a rise in COVID-19 cases. According to USD's COVID-19 task force, students are not required to self-report to the university. Free self-testing kits are available to anyone and can be picked up from the front desk in the mug. For Coyote News, I'm Emily Van Cleve.
Staying hydrated and washing your hands are just a couple ways you can protect yourself from getting sick.
Representative Dusty Johnson is commenting on an impeachment inquiry being launched against President Joe Biden. The House investigation comes after allegations of Hunter Biden profiting from business dealings with foreign entities. Johnson says there is a constitutional and legal test that must be met with evidence when it comes to impeachment, and he has not seen that evidence. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says these are allegations of abuse of power, obstruction, and corruption. If Republicans find there is enough evidence of wrongdoing by Biden, the impeachment process will begin. An impeachment inquiry is the most powerful constitutional check that Congress has on the executive branch.
September is Suicide Awareness Month. The USD Student Counseling Center is hosting a field of memories to honor those who have lost their lives to suicide. People are able to write a message to someone they've lost or share a message of hope. Over 48,000 people died from suicide in 2021, and it's the 10th leading cause of death in South Dakota. The exhibit's located on the east lawn of Patterson Hall until Friday. If you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, you're encouraged to reach out to the Suicide and Crisis Hotline at 988.
Charlie's Career Closet is USD's secondhand store where students can shop for free business clothing. They also help with resume writing and job searches, as Coyote News' Brooke Aiden reports.
Located on the first floor of East Hall, Lori Costello started Charlie's Career Closet, a one-stop shop for University of South Dakota students to shop for business attire free of charge. More than 150 students have already taken advantage of the closet, and all you need is your student ID to receive your clothing.
I think that when people look good, they feel good, and it's important when students are going into situations like job interviews or presentations for class or defending their thesis for their committee. It's important that they look good. It helps them project confidence.
Lori says that college is expensive. Students are expected to pay for rent, groceries, and school. And sometimes clothes aren't a top priority for students. Not to mention, fast fashion is a huge contributor to the climate crisis, so Lori opted to create a more sustainable shopping experience for students. Lori states that Charlie's Career Closet was able to give away over 2,000 pieces of clothing to students who came to check it out, and she doesn't see any changes in the future other than the closet to become more successful. Charlie's Career Closet is open Mondays and Thursdays from 2 to 4 p.m. For Coyote News, I'm Brooke Aiden.
Like Brooke Aiden said, if you're looking for business attire, the closet is open on Mondays and Thursdays, 2 to 4. After the break, USD is urging students to recycle as much as they can. You're watching Coyote News.
This is Coyote News.
USD has introduced a graduate student professional development program. The initiative is designed to help grad students learn the skills needed to succeed in their respective academics and industries. The GS3 series stems from a group of 5 faculty members on campus. The program features workshops on professionalism, communication skills, and networking.
Recycling bins can be found across campus, and the university encourages the community to take full advantage of them. Coyote News' Sean Hermans has more on what can and can't be recycled.
It's nearly impossible to not have seen them by now, the green and yellow recycling bins. In low-density areas, such as Old Main, there are 1 or 2 recycling bins. In high-density areas, there will be 4 to 6 recycling bins depending on the amount of recyclables that come in.
We recycle paper, we recycle cardboard, both biscuit packs. We recycle PET, this is PET bottles, plastics. We recycle aluminum cans. We recycle glass bottles as well.
Styrofoam materials aren't recyclable, nor is your plastic cup from Starbucks. Recyclable items that do end up in the trash will be sent to the landfill, which is not good for the environment.
USD spends a lot of money to send the waste they generate in the university to the landfill. And most of these wastes are recyclables contained in them because they are either contaminated or people are ignorant about recycling. So if we recycle more, the amount of waste we generate and send to the landfill will be curbed.
More recycling means less waste to the landfill, and that means less costs for the university. Reporting for Coyote News, I'm Sean Hermans.
USD says they'll continue efforts to educate students about campus recycling.
Navigator CO2 Ventures wants to build a 1,300-mile pipeline network across 5 states, including South Dakota. But following the denial of a 112-mile permit across South Dakota, the company is weighing its options moving forward. The denied pipeline would have served 3 ethanol plants. The South Dakota Public Utilities Commission's unanimous vote comes after concerns with the Navigator's lack of promptness and struggles to notify landowners. Many Midwesterners worry these projects pose a threat to their land if the pipeline were to break. But companies like Navigator say these lines will safely carry CO2 to businesses. USD continues efforts to ensure male and female students are treated equally. Coyote News' Marissa Bronkhorst is live in the MUG to talk more about the importance of Title IX. Marissa?
Thanks, Jody Ann. I'm here with Jean Merkel, the coordinator of the Title IX office. Thanks for being here today. Absolutely. So, with recent reports of sexual assault on campus, can you give a brief overview of your office's role when something like this happens?
Sure. I would say my initial role is to provide support. When something like that happens, it's pretty traumatic and people feel kind of out of sorts. And so I want to help them settle down and kind of realize it'll be okay and we can work through the process step by step.
And for students that might be wondering, how can they make a report and what happens to this report when it's initially made?
So when a student comes to me, I'm a good listener, and they can tell me as much or as little as they want. And then we talk about options, if they want to do something about it or nothing about it. It's totally up to them. They're in control of what happens.
Besides issues of sexual violence, what other services and support does your office provide?
So one of the things I do certainly is training. I've worked with Greek life, I've worked with housing. Any student group that's interested, I would be happy to present to. The other thing really is accommodations. So a student can report to any place, really, an RA. They can report to UPD or me, but we will work with them to get them accommodations of, if they're struggling in class and staying focused, if they need a safety plan, if they need any kind of help like that, counseling services, go to the doctor. We can do things like that too.
Do you have any message or anything to say to someone who may be afraid or nervous about making a report?
Sure. I really would encourage them to think about the bigger picture. I know it happened to them specifically, but I guess my concern is safety for campus and safety for others. So I encourage, if possible, their willingness to make a report, but yeah, it's really up to them.
Thanks for joining me today. Students that wish to make a report can find the report on the Silent Witness form on USD's website. Live in the muck for Coyote News, I'm Marissa Brunkhorst.
Thanks, Marissa. The Title IX office is located in Slagle Hall, room 205.
After the break, Coyote Sports checks in with the athletic department's first mental health specialist.
And we've got recaps from this week's sports highlights. You're watching Coyote News.
In the United States, approximately 6.3 million animals enter shelters every year. Of those, only 3.2 million will be adopted, and over 920,000 will be euthanized. Help put a stop to animal homelessness, save a life, and rescue your next best friend.
This is Coyote News.
This is Coyote Sports. I'm Spencer Bewley.
And I'm Carly Phillips. A new student ticket system was implemented last week. Students now need to claim their free tickets online prior to all home volleyball, football, and basketball games. This process can be done through your smartphone, and step-by-step instructions were released in an email from USD University Relations. For questions regarding tickets, contact tickets@usd.edu or call 605-677-5959.
The volleyball team wrapped up the South Dakota Classic tournament with a 2-1 record and a narrow victory over the South Florida Bulls on Friday night. The match started off tied at 1-1 through the first two sets. The Coyotes went on to win a close third set 25-23, but the Bulls won set 4 by 5 points. In the fifth and final set, USD started off trailing 9-2, but fought back to tie it up at 14. The Coyotes then took the lead off a South Florida error, and a block from Madison Harms and Avery Van Hook secured the winning point. The Coyotes win this one 3-2. The Coyotes' next game is tomorrow against Green Bay in Wisconsin.
Coyote football will return to the Dakota Dome this Saturday to face Lamar University, where they look to get their second home win in a row. On Saturday, a defensive shutout propelled USD to a victory over St. Thomas. Junior defensive lineman Nick Gaze led that charge with 3 sacks and 7 tackles. Quarterback Aiden Bauman and receiver Jack Martins connected for a touchdown to take the lead 7-0 in the first quarter. The Coyotes then pulled away in the second half with a field goal from Will Leyland and touchdowns from tight end J.J. Galbraith and running back Nate Thomas. Kickoff this Saturday is at 1 p.m.
The cross-country team competed in the SDSU Classic last Friday in Brookings, where 3 Coyote women placed in the top 10. Senior Abby Ripperda led the Coyotes with a 3rd-place finish in the 5,000-meter run with a time of just over 18 minutes. Freshman Madison Brower followed her in 4th, and junior Abrielle Jurley placed 7th. The women's team placed 3rd overall. On the men's side, sophomore Carson Lauterbach led the Coyotes for the 2nd straight week in a row. He finished in 30th place in the 8,000-meter run in just over 26 minutes. The men placed 8th overall in the competition. Coyotes compete next week in the Roy Griek Invitational in Minneapolis. Taking care of your mental health is important to all students, including Division I athletes. Coyote News' Sydney Cullen is live in the muck with more. Sydney?
Thanks, Spencer. I'm here live with Tanner Peterson, coordinator of student-athlete mental health. So you're the first to take on this position. Can you let us know why is it important to have this role in student athletics?
Yeah, I think we've noticed through research that student athletes are more at risk of mental health concerns than their more traditional students. And so my job is to kind of help mitigate that risk, provide that really specialty resource for their unique experience here at USD.
Do you expect to see an increase of athletes coming in and needing help during certain points throughout the year?
I think that's fair to say. I think when you look at finals week, maybe towards the end of the semester, different events like that, I think it's really fair to say, yeah, we might see an increase in student athletes or any individual coming into the counseling center.
And where can students find you and where your office is located at?
Yes, we're at a new location at East Hall and Dakota Hall. It's brand spanking new for the counseling center, and we're really excited to have it.
And last question here, what are you hoping to accomplish overall in this position? Do you have any goals in mind?
I think right now, as I just wrap up my first month, my main goal is to really get connected within athletics, get connected with the student athletes, really build that relationship with the coaches, the student athletes, and I think the rest of my work will take care of itself from there. That's the goal.
Thank you for being here today.
Of course, thank you.
Live in the muck for Coyote Sports, I'm Sydney Colin.
Thanks, Sydney. Check out the Valance website for more information about Peterson.
The men's golf team wrapped up the Falcon Invitational yesterday, hosted by Air Force in Colorado Springs. Freshman Cole Withrow and junior Cole Hammock shot 4 over par through the tournament. They led the team to a 13th place finish out of 24 teams. The men will compete in Manhattan, Kansas next Monday and Tuesday. On the women's side, freshman Ella Greenberg fired a 67 for the lowest 18-hole score in USD history at the Redbird Invitational in Normal, Illinois. She finished 5th overall in the tournament along with teammate Katie Nicola. The two shot even par, helping the Coyote women finish 6th as a team. And that's it for Coyote Sports.
When we come back, we ask students their secret talent. Stay with us.
Hey, do you want to answer a quick question for Coyote News?
Huh? What's the question?
It's about roommates. It'll only take a second.
I don't know.
Come on. All you have to do is talk to me. What's the weirdest thing that you found your roommate doing?
One time I came home from class and she was clipping her toenails on my bed. That was weird and gross.
Hey, look. It's you.
That was weird and gross.
No way.
This is Coyote News.
Plenty of USD students have hidden talents.
That's right. And in this week's Out and About, we asked what some of those were.
Here's what they had to say.
I can pop wheelies on bikes. like bicycles.
I could do a really good Patrick Star impression from SpongeBob.
I'm ambidextrous, so I can do everything with both hands.
I compete in fishing tournaments. I'm nearly a professional fisherman.
Oh boy, 3 a.m. I have an okay Kermit impression, but only when he's singing the Rainbow Connection or whatever.
I can make really good animal noises with my mouth.
I'm really good at hitting the gritty.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows?
I'm a singer by heart. Yeah, that's all you get.
I can make a funny noise with my head.
Show it to us.
You might not be able to hear it, but I'm gonna bend down.
I'm able to just know when people lying and saying bull crap.
That was something. Do you have any epic hidden talents you'd like to share?
Yeah, so I can act and sometimes
Ooh.
dance. What's
Okay.
your hidden talent?
Watch this. The next time you're filling your car up with gas, double check that everything is in the right place once you're done. USD Barstool shared this picture on their social media last week of a truck driving with a gasoline hose down Cherry Street. The good news is that modern gas pumps do have an automatic shutoff if an incident like this one does occur. So, besides a missing hose, no harm was done. I'm glad that it did not blow up. Because someone was telling me earlier about how an incident like that happened, and it was, and that was scary.
That would be something.
I don't know how you forget that. It's the first thing. I understand the gas cap, but I don't know about the entire pump. That's just pretty wild.
Exactly.
Yeah, too wild.
Well, that's it for Coyote News.
Pick up the Valance issue for a look into Vermilion's 100-year-old baseball field's renovations.
Listen to 91.1 for news updates throughout the week and for coverage of your USD sports.
And don't forget to follow our social media pages for daily updates and other campus events. Have a great night.